There are going to be some big changes at Paramount, some big changes for Star Trek potentially. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So in the last couple of days, Paramount has released its quarterly results. And the CEO, Bob Bakish, and CFO, Naveen Chopra, have been talking about those results and their plans moving forward to Paramount Plus. They've been talking about how they've been building data over the last couple of years during Paramount Plus's existence, and that they're now ready to start making some big sweeping changes across the platform. They have figured out that they can focus their television and movie plans to certain key audiences. They keep calling it super serving, and that they now have a lot of data to support their decisions. Now, I have a couple of contacts that work in and around certain aspects of this field. One contact in particular, who used to work at MGM and now works at quite a large marketing firm, has reported to me that they've been doing a lot of work for Paramount. I've actually spoken to them before and done videos about Star Trek thanks to this source. So when all this got released yesterday, I gave the source a phone call and asked him basically to explain it to me. And he's actually been able to tell me that they have advised Paramount regarding Star Trek and other projects. And actually, some of the advice will make certain aspects of the Trekker family very, very happy. So first of all, what is this super serve? Well, Paramount has been building demographic data for quite some time. They're basically looking at who watches Paramount Plus. What sort of person actually then keeps the subscription? So if they watch so many hours a week, watch this type of show, watch this type of show, are they more likely or less likely to then keep the subscription long term? Those are the people they mean by targeted audiences. These are the people they want to actually tailor the television moving forwards for. Now, my source has been able to tell me that the sort of things that Paramount will be focusing far more on are things like Lionesses, the more recent sort of military-style mystery sort of show, high thriller, high intensity, high action. They will also be, though, keeping Star Trek as the jewel of the crown for Paramount Plus, but it will be a little bit different. My source has been able to tell me that actually his company, working in conjunction with another company, has actually recommended a list of basically of franchises that they suggest Paramount should focus on. Star Trek was on that list, but apparently they also recommended that there's been too much Star Trek on Paramount Plus and that they're in danger of saturating the market. Now, Paramount's Plus plan with Star Trek was to basically have several different shows within the franchise that targeted different demographics. So we had Discovery that actually has quite a young demographic, a younger audience. We have things like Picard that was supposed to satisfy Trekkies like myself in that 35 to 45 sort of demographic bracket. We had Lower Decks, which is again more aimed at me, and we had Prodigy, which is supposed to again be aimed at a younger audience, or really a kids audience. Following the recommendations from certain companies like the one my source works for, that has led to Prodigy being actually farmed off to a third party. The thinking was twofold. One, apparently Prodigy wasn't getting a big enough audience, not enough people were watching it, but also not enough people were clicking and talking about it online. So they said basically the route to grow the show just wasn't there. So the plan was to remove it from Paramount. It was a very conscious decision to do it very suddenly. It was supposed to shock and surprise us and then move it to a third party. I'm hearing that Prodigy will actually be moving to Amazon, but apparently that's not been finalized just yet. So the idea being was to shock the fans and get them online. That worked beautifully. The online petition has well gone beyond anything that the fans did for Strange New Worlds when they were desperate for that show. There's been a lot more interest in Prodigy. There's been a lot more attention. I mean, just look at Star Trek Live Las Vegas. They had a big announcement that a clip from Series 2 of Prodigy had been released and put out there. It did cause a lot of excitement. I had never really noticed a lot of traffic regarding Prodigy before this announcement. And now my Twitter feed, or whatever it's called now, is full of Star Trek Prodigy stuff. So that strategy worked very effectively. Now people are talking about Prodigy and will follow it to whatever third party it ends up on. I asked my source, is there a chance for a season 3 of Prodigy? And he said that is another reason why they farmed it off, because they didn't really want to go through the third season. But this way, it's not up to them anymore. Whoever they end up selling it to, if it is Amazon Prime, it will be up to them whether they commission a third season or not. So there's a little bit of good news there. A third season of Prodigy is actually possible. But what else has been recommended? Well, the big recommendation apparently was that they should drop SciTrek Academy, or at very least turn it into a one-off mini-series rather than a full-on series to replace Discovery. They have also recommended that they should only be running 3 Star Trek series at a time, and we should probably only see 2 of those per year. So the calendar will be stretched out. Now, I think we've already seen that a little bit, and we've seen that plan sort of being actioned a little bit, but we will only see 2 series per annual calendar year of Star Trek. So we can look at maybe it being like 13, 14, 15 months between each season of Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, etc. As I said, it was recommended that they change the plan for Star Trek Academy and that they push forward plans for Star Trek Legacy. Now, I was told a little while ago that there was one plan to actually end Strange New Worlds at season 3 and then replace that with Star Trek Legacy. Now, I've heard that rumor a few times, but it's very much in the rumor category, so I'm not going to put any weight behind it. I don't know for certain if that's true or not, but my source did suggest that actually that could be true, that Strange New Worlds numbers have been variable at best, and actually 3 seasons was kind of always the initial plan, that they never actually thought to go beyond that. Very similarly to what they did with Star Trek Picard, that 3 seasons was always the plan to begin with, and that we'll be getting a big 3rd season following what we're getting at the moment, and that actually then Strange New Worlds will be ending. We will see if that happens, because I think it very much depends on the popularity. Strange New Worlds has got into the top 10 Nielsen chart, the chart that basically looks at the top 10 streaming shows across all of the platforms. Star Trek Picard also did, but Discovery, etc. never have. But I would argue actually that this season of Strange New Worlds has been a little bit variable with its numbers. Some of them have not been great. So that is what the marketing people, the companies that Paramount are going to actually look at all the numbers they've been building and to do basically little projects to give them recommendations, are saying drop Star Trek Academy and push forward plans for Star Trek Legacy. Only have maximum of 3 seasons run at any one time. Stretch the calendar out so we only actually get 2 things a year, and it will then be plus the TV movie every other year. This way, making sure that you've got enough of the Star Trek that people really love, but not too much. And that really is a key point, that the marketing people are saying you can saturate the market, you can get fatigue of Star Trek, and that will end up killing the franchise like it did following Star Trek Enterprise if they're not careful. The marketing people are basically saying you need to build up a little bit of excitement. You need to have people waiting for these series. You need to actually then drop them weekly, not all together, like Paramount have been doing for quite some time. And that needs to be the focus moving forwards. And I'd love to know what you guys think about that. Is that a good idea, or does it basically mean we're going to be stifling a bit of creativity? What do you think about this Star Trek plan, if that's what Paramount decide to do? Does that make sense to you? Or do you think, no, I want more, damn it? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek, where most of our new videos appear first. And for a small contribution each month that really supports the channel, you get to see them without the adverts. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.